Hello, it is mental health week this week and I wanted to do a video about mental health, about anxiety, about depression and just kind of speak to you lot about it. Mental health is such a common thing now and people look at it in so many different ways, and honestly we need to talk about it more. We need to kind of stop that stigma of not talking about it, because it doesn't make you a bad person if you do suffer from anxieties, depression, because it's so common nowadays. And I think in a way everybody goes through their own struggles and everybody kind of deals with it in their own ways. I've suffered with anxiety, don't suffer from depression. Some days are worse than others. I wake up and I feel anxious. I feel like there's something in the pit of my stomach and something bad's gonna happen. I worry about little things. I worry about work. I worry about what people think of me. And that's my anxieties. I also get told, you can't have anxiety. You're bubbly. You're out there, do you know what I mean? Like, you work on stage, you're in pantomimes, you're in West End musicals, you've done TV, you can't have anxiety. This is what people need to get their heads around. Like, just because I'm on stage doesn't mean that I don't suffer from anxiety. It doesn't discriminate. Anyone can suffer from anxiety. I've learned to deal with it in my own ways. Some days I don't want to get out of bed, but I force myself. I find that exercise really helps me. I find that sleep is a main thing for me. If I don't get enough sleep, then I wake up and I automatically feel anxious about the day. I know when I've got it. I know when I'm feeling anxious, and I've started to be able to deal with it more. I struggle to get my deep breath. I feel like I can't breathe, and I'm not ashamed of it at all. I'm a lad. I play footy. I like going out doing lad stuff. Oh, the boys. But it don't make anyone less of a lad or a manly man if that's what people say. I think we need to scrap all those stupid sayings anyway. Everyone's the same. Everyone can suffer. Anyone can suffer. I'm willing to talk about it, because if a lad who's suffering with anxiety or depression, or just he wants to open up and talk to somebody, it's fine to do so. Like, it doesn't make you weak. That's what I used to think. I used to think it was a weakness. I used to think, why do I feel like this? I'm not telling anyone, like, this is not me. It must mean I'm mentally weak. But when you think about it, it actually makes you very strong, because you're dealing with it. And if you're not dealing with it and you don't know what that kind of feels like to wake up with anxiety or to wake up with depression, then it's not nice. It's not nice. It makes you self-conscious. I used to really worry about what people thought of me, and I think being around kind of TV work and stuff like that, it's made me realise, like, you can't please everyone. And unfortunately, you're gonna get people that don't like you for no reason whatsoever. They don't like the way you look, they don't like the way you are, they don't like the way you talk. They think you're jumping on the bandwagon. Oh, I fucking hate that saying. It's just jumping on the bandwagon, because mental health's so common nowadays that just jumping on the bandwagon to, mate, like, shut up. It's not jumping on the bandwagon when you've gone through things in your life that have changed you and they've given you these anxieties. And I don't even look at it as in a negative way anymore. I look at it in a positive way, that I know what it is now, and I know that I can beat it. I know I can deal with it. I don't mind it anymore. It all kind of stemmed, my anxieties all stemmed from my brother and my dad passing away, and people leaving, not being able to do anything about it. It's a worry that someone can be taken away, and I feel like that's what I worry about most. And sometimes I push people away who are closest to me. Then if they do leave me, there's a reason there. Do you know what I mean? So that's where my main anxiety comes from, people leaving and not being around. But I'm dealing with it and I'm getting better, and if I can do it, anyone can do it at home. Anyone can deal with it and not be ashamed of it. Now's the perfect time. Everybody's talking about mental health, and it is such a common thing, but it's still nowhere near what we need it to be. We still need more people talking about it. We need more help for it. I actually feel anxious talking about this today, because it is such a topic that people don't understand, and that's the hard thing about it. People don't understand it. People have I see so many comments, oh, man up, stop being a snowflake. And honestly, the worst things to say to somebody that's suffering from anxiety or suffering from depression or suffering from anything like that, or suffering from mental health, doesn't have to be anxiety or depression, just any mental health, is to be told to man up, because in your brain, you don't want those feelings. You're having to deal with those feelings. You don't want to wake up and feel like the world's going to end. Sometimes you do. You don't want to wake up and not want to turn the light off and lay in bed all day. It's not something that somebody would choose to feel. And like I said before, it's nothing to be ashamed of. And if you are suffering, then I think you're so strong. And together you can get through it. Just talk and open up and know that you're not alone in this. You're not alone. You're not the only one person feeling like that today. But if we all stick together and talk about it, and not worry about the stigma of not talking about it, and talk about it. Get it out there more and more, because there's nothing worse than holding it in. I had my first panic attack when I was on stage doing hair, and honestly I didn't know what was going on. I thought I was dying. I thought the world was ending. For 10 minutes it was the worst 10 minutes of my life. I had no idea what was going on. And now I've suffered a panic attack. I know that what the feeling is. I'm not scared of it anymore. I'll embrace it, and if it happens again, I'll take it, and I'll know what to do with it. Panic attacks, all mental health can stem from anything. Like I said, it came about from my dad and my brother. But I know people that have suffered from mental health because their hair's falling out. They're so worried about their hair falling out and what other people think. And that's always what it is. It's always worrying what other people think. That's why trolling and just being kind is so important, because one nice message to somebody, even if you don't know them, just a nice message, or if you see someone in the street and a nice smile, can change somebody's day. But also a negative comment on something that somebody's already paranoid about, their hair, their teeth, their looks, their weight, that negative comment can literally cause a downward spiral, and that can really affect someone. And I'm so passionate about not doing that. Don't just come to somebody's Instagram, or don't just go to somebody's TikTok just to spout off negativity. If you don't like that person, fair enough, you're entitled to an opinion. But just don't say fuck all. Just don't like them in silence. They don't need to know that, because then that can cause them to go into a downward spiral. Like I said, I didn't really know where to start with this video. I didn't really know how to talk to you guys, because I don't want to be condescending and patronising and be like, this is what, because everybody's different and everyone deals different. But like I said, I kind of deal with my anxieties by exercise. I feel like that's a great way. Surround yourself with good people. Get rid of any negativity. Get rid of anyone that doesn't inspire you. If you're sat on social media and you're looking at perfect bodies, people showing the perfect life, then get rid, because it's not real. It's not real. I've realised that over the past year or so, that Instagram shouldn't be about only showing the perfectness. It should be showing the realness. Because if you have got a few followers and people do kind of look at what you're doing, you should be trying to inspire them to be better, and inspire them, and by being a good role model and actually showing them that some days I have a shit day. I have put a stone on in quarantine. I don't care. I'll show you that. I ain't got abs at the minute. Who cares? I'll get them back after quarantine. I'll work hard after that. We're entitled to have down days. We're entitled to have shit days. We're entitled to argue with each other. We're entitled to, if you don't want to get out of bed, don't get out of bed. It's not a weakness. You haven't failed, because the next day you can go again, and you can talk to someone, and you can get over it, and you can be more than mental health. Mental health doesn't define you as a person. It's part of you. So embrace it. Know the feelings that you get. When you do feel anxious, accept it. Accept you're anxious. Try and find the reason why. And that, like I said, more often than not, I know the reasons why. I wake up and I go, I haven't had enough sleep. I'm a little bit worried about work, or I'm a little bit worried about a job coming up, or I'm a little bit... At the beginning of the year, I had a script that really wasn't going into my head, and I was trying to learn the lines, and it was making me more and more anxious. And the more I tried to learn the lines and they weren't going in, the more I'd feel shit. Got to the point where I didn't even want to look at the script. I gave up before I'd even tried. I sat down, I said, once you know this script, all this fucking anxiety is going to go away, and you're going to be all right. I sat there, and as much as I wanted to give in, I kept going through it. I finally got there, and it was the best feeling ever when I'd actually beat it. So don't let it define you. Honestly, just know that you're not alone, and everybody suffers. And it doesn't matter what age you are, what race you are, gender you are. Mental health will affect everyone in some kind of way. It's just about dealing with it and finding ways to deal with it. So I know that I've proper blabbered on, and I've wasted probably 10 minutes of your life there. With it being Mental Health Week, I just wanted to kind of sit down and let you know that a lot of people are in the same boat if you are struggling, and don't be ashamed. And I ain't ashamed. I don't care. I'll let my mates know. I'll talk to my mates about it. I'll talk to my mum about it. And there was a point when I didn't talk to anyone about it. And as soon as I started opening up and realising that a lot of people are in the same boat, a lot of people do suffer. My mum's been a sufferer of mental health for a long, long time, and she's the strongest woman I know. She really is. So yeah, these vlogs are usually me pissing about and doing pranks or messing around and showing you into life, but just wanted to be a bit serious today and talk about mental health. with it being Mental Health Week. Just a little message to anyone that is struggling. Please talk to someone. Don't be ashamed. It's not weakness. It's actually a strength if you embrace it and talk about it. And I promise you, you'll feel stronger after talking about it. If anyone listened to this, if you think that I was just talking shit, then fair enough. It's a really weird topic to try and kind of talk about because, like I said, everyone's different. Everybody's different. Everyone suffers with it differently. Take a bit of time, sort yourself out. You don't always have to be the person kind of trying to make everyone else happy. You need to kind of sometimes think about your own happiness and put yourself first. And if that means cutting out negative people, if that means cutting out people that don't inspire you, then do so. Anyway, that was my chat on anxiety and mental health. And I hope if you've watched, it's helped in a tiny little way. Peace, love, always.